I've done over 45 virtual speeches since COVID began. I built a very sophisticated studio. I think it's important for speakers to invest in that. And your audience is seeing that today, and I think it just creates a different impression. If you look at the evening news, you're going to see that. You're going to see interviews, you're going to see graphics, you're going to see a crawl on the bottom, you're going to see cuts. We have to keep the attention. Email's a drug, right? And people can just alt-tab away and get into emails. So I think it's very important to craft a different kind of product in the virtual world. Two of the tech companies I'm on the boards of have had thousands more attendees of their virtual conferences than they ever did of their physical conference. Because the time is shorter, so people don't have to dedicate days and days to it. They can come on when they want. They don't have to pay for travel or a room. And even the virtual trade shows are working very well. So I think going forward, all meetings will be hybrid. It's about experimentation and management accepting failure. You have to fail fast, and you have to do lots of experiments. You have to watch the game films to see what happened in that game, and why did the person make that error, and how we can improve. And you have to build the right team. So innovation is about culture and team. Culture is about risk-taking, experimentation, accepting failure. Team is about hiring people who are glass half full people who aren't like you, who will argue with you, people who accept risk and want change. And you can find those people today in your company somewhere, even if you aren't hiring. Huge numbers of people have changed the way they buy. They've gone online, they've switched their brand, and 80% of them say they're going to stay with it. So you got to be out there with the right product and the right message, and doing those things that are required during this pandemic, whether it's curbside delivery or food pickup, or whatever it is you need to do, overnight shipping, and highlighting products that sell. But you also, can do something like Delta Airlines has done in the U.S., very different than their competitors. They've focused on safety, and in their ads and on their website, everywhere they're saying, hey, we have social distancing, we require masks, we clean our airplanes, we use UV filters. The other airlines are saying, yeah, maybe we have some of that stuff. You have to tell your story in different ways and be responsive to where we are today in the midst of this virus. The best companies today are organized around the customer, and they're focused on selling services to that customer. Ant Financial was about to go public in China. They started out sort of like PayPal, just doing payments for Alibaba. But then they added insurance, and they added loans, and they added banking, and they became the financial powerhouse of China, all around a single customer base. So instead of organizing around your product, organize around the customer, be digital about your business, realize, as I showed in my speech, that you can sell an outcome rather than a product. Philips, the lighting company, just signed a 20-year contract with Schiphol Airport to sell lighting. Not light bulbs, light. So they're paying for the power, they're paying for the bulbs, and it's much more profitable than selling light bulbs. They changed their business model, 100-year-old company. You can do it too. Well, today, of course, you have to have an amazing product. You have to build fanatical fans. People say, why should I have Facebook friends? Because they're your friends. And you know what they want? They want access to good deals, and they want to know about new products because they'll tell their friends. You have to be everywhere on all points of advertising, whether it's outdoor, physical, or social, or Google. You have to tell the story. It's about storytelling, because today brands are about experience. I want to tell you about the experience I had with my Tesla. Wow, I got new software last night. It's like a new car. If you have that kind of buzz, that's how you get attention. Or like Delta Airlines we talked about earlier, you really respond to the customer and say, we're all about COVID. We understand that. We're safe. You can come here, right? Or like Airbnb, who changed their search during COVID to emphasize rural properties because they realized nobody wanted to be in a city. And that helped them through their IPO this week, where they're worth umpty-squash $1 billion. I think it was around 100 billion. So be responsive, understand how the consumer has changed, and just build an amazing experience. And then it's easy to advertise. My dad worked in the advertising business, and I said, Dad, why are your biggest clients beer and cigarettes? And he said, because they're undifferentiated. They have to spend tons of money because you can't tell the products apart. So if you make a product that's so great, you need less advertising to get attention.